Last time on Wanderlust. You're looking over an expanse of this luminous lichen that's growing over hard stones in this cavern. Far off, there is some illumination from a small town that is kind of built around this statue. It's hard to see because it's really far off, with a beam of light hitting it.
Can you speak some lizard for me?
Huh?
Can I speak
some lizard? She does this really weird thing. She's like, look, don't get weird about this. And then she like slithers her hand into your palm and does like weird like pokes and prods into your palms. And she's like, that's all the swears I remember.
You know, she could have just told Jenny, done and told you anything and said it was lizard, and you'd have no way to verify that.
Why would you ruin that for me? Why? Why would you ruin that, Fred? The people coming towards you are kind of like iridescent. Their clothes are made from like this flowy kind of iridescent material. They are armed.
What are you doing in my domain?
We're hoping to get some history of the place, and I'm told that he is a good person to talk to. I'm Juliet. What's your name?
Henry Grimm.
Here, wait. Oh, hang on. I have something for you that you can occupy yourself with while we're getting a lecture. And she digs in her bag for one of her books and gives it to him.
This literally has a long coiling body that ends in a, like, arms and legs, right?
I get you.
A long enough tail that it can wrap around itself. And a straight-up snakehead looking at you. It got worse. Our seasons changed. Our fields turned to rot, and the creatures pouring out of the forest became less friendly. But people are unused to horrifying nightmares pouring out of the dark woods and carrying off their children, so we dug down here. And we changed. I think of it as adaptation. No, it's not satisfying. The alternative was all of these people dying.
Well, in any case, I'd love to pick your brain on some of your techniques.
Certainly, I have not had anyone to share with.
All of the soldiers, led by Lord Grimm, he rushes up and kind of shriek croaks at you.
What are you doing?
As a tiny little stone frog with a big old beard hops in a basket and is launched up into the cave while his shop is burning with fire and new metals. Currently, the town is all gathered around the little workshop of Rourke. And like I said, his now modified with easy to work but fairly strong metal given by Fred when he, sacrificed what I think it was an axe that you had made of that metal that we found way back in season 1. You see old fallow, beardy stone frog that he is floating up towards the ceiling, kind of croaking with laughter in the basket of his new, I think we called it is it air screw is what they're called?
Aerial screw?
Aerial screw. So yeah, there's general clamor around that as the town is all there, and you see Lord Grimm and his guards approaching you. What's everybody about?
Wait till they get here, I guess.
I think Estelle is assuming that's not for them, and so she's just still looking around the shop.
Okay.
I think Fred is pretty preoccupied watching their invention work.
You see Henry kind of get like swept up in this. His father's men grab him and drag him away. And Lord Grimm, I am going to say, approaches probably Autumn, as you guys are not the ones like in the shop, because Estelle and Fred are both in the shop.
I thought I made it clear to you to not cause trouble.
What trouble is there?
You're creating a commotion in my town.
He's laughing. That's not trouble.
Lord Grim looks at you with kind of like sad eyes.
I think maybe you don't know what trouble looks like.
Oh, I do. I don't think you do. I think you have been down here too long and are too afraid of anything happening to know what real trouble looks like anymore. You have mythical stories of when you fell down here, which I think was actual trouble, and you have spun them into bigger and bigger yarns and think any little deviation from your plan that will keep everyone safe, for sure, 100%, no qualms as long as you ask no questions, makes everything out to be trouble whenever it looks anything different from your little plan.
Your opinion is noted.
He looks back at his, like, gaggle of men.
Arrest her.
And you see they look, like, uncertain, but start approaching you with, jagged spears lowered.
She doesn't fight.
No. We don't have to do this. Is there anything else you'd like to say? We aren't planning on staying here. We're actually planning on heading along, so...
You're planning on leaving?
Fairly soon, yes.
Fine. You may collect your friend when it is time for you to go.
And the, little stone frogs grab Autumn and start leading her off towards the manor house.
Autumn?
Yeah? What's up?
You gonna be okay?
She looks at the little stone frogs who are up to her waist. I think I'll be fine.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
I hand Juliet my backpack of stuff.
Oh yeah, Lance is gonna call you, because you have the
I keep that. I keep my walkie-talkies. I keep my walkie-talkies. I give Juliet, my backpack of stuff.
Juliet turns to Mal and is like, I never thought I would be eager for Lance to call, but...
Yeah, I'd be careful on how wishful you are about that, but... Well, I gotta say there's that tiny bit of me that does respect you guys a little bit more now that one of you has been taken into custody.
Is that appealing to you?
Not anymore, but, it means that you're actually getting into the thick of it, I guess.
Uh-huh.
She puts her arm around you and leans down and goes, you don't have to get arrested, it's okay.
I have 2.5 plans for it already, so...
2.5?
You didn't give me very much time.
Meanwhile, I'll say that, the little, aerial screw has, come and landed back down. Rourke shambles out and totters his way over to the remaining 3 of you, with, I guess it's actually the remaining 5 of you, including Mitchell and... I guess the remaining 6 of you, including Guffy, Mitchell, and...
So do we, walk over to, where the aerial screw stuff is? Is that...
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you guys are kind of around there.
How many of you walk over there, though?
All?
2. We are all in the same place.
I know, Cody just keeps adding numbers. I'm being difficult.
I think 3 or 4, or maybe 5 or 6 of us walk over there. Depends on how many of us there actually are.
The rest of the party,
A gaggle.
Party -1 walks over to, is there when the aerial screw lands. Rourke hops out, and then immediately is like, oh, my back and my cane, and starts kind of hobbling over towards the remainder of you.
I would say that was a successful test.
Yeah, I think it went pretty well.
Now, what are all of you? Where are you staying tonight?
I don't know if we made plans that far ahead, to be honest.
What time is it now? Is it afternoon?
It's getting on into evening,
Okay.
The light coming down on that main, what's it called? Fountain might be dimming now, as you can kind of see that the day is getting on.
I think we were planning on still traveling today, but it's kind of pending the way being clear.
As you say that, you can, like, feel some quakes from, like, blasts still going on that have, like, not stopped all day. And I will say, as, like, a GM note, you have not heard from Lance yet to say that path is cleared.
Come, let me buy you a drink at least.
Oh, that's very kind. Lead the way, I guess. She, like, looks around at everybody else.
He grins and totters his way up north from here towards, like, a little residential area that's built around a plaza. In the center of the plaza, there's, like, the one building where you see people congregating. It looks like a rotting inn. It's still only one story, but it's a little bit larger. You can see people kind of milling about now. There's, like, kind of general clamor as people are, like, patting Rourke on the back and congratulating him on his new invention, which they haven't seen in a while. When you get in, it's, like, a pretty dreary place on the inside. There's, like, jars of that lichen kind of hanging in jars that dimly light the place. People are drinking, like, a very thin mush of lichen. You know, it's a generally unpleasant smell in here, as it is a lot of, you know, cave goo being turned into drink.
Yum.
But there is, like, there's clearly some flowing water in here, which is exciting. So there is, like, clean water to drink, and that's something, you know, it'll sustain you. He finds, like, a table for all of you and sits down.
Well, I can't say that I am displeased, but where do you intend to go from here? Not that I want you to leave, but I'm curious.
Well, ideally we're going further down. We're trying to seek some answers about what's happening to us up on the surface, and our only hint was to keep looking down for solutions.
He kind of, like, looks pensively.
My job used to be to create solutions. I made solutions down here for a time. I got us clean water and helped develop systems to cultivate the lichen. But eventually I solved enough problems and I stopped, I guess. Henry's interested, but that only goes so far. But a new invention is always welcome. However, I will caution you, I know you're from the surface, and I can tell all of you seem quite formidable in some ways, but those of us who live lower down, I remember scary folks, ones with violence in their hearts, not like those that drug off your friend, but truly menacing creatures.
Can you tell us more about them? What we might encounter, I guess?
I can tell you only what I remember. Those of us that stayed up here, we were common folk. Lord Grimm, he was, how do I say, not the greatest amongst his peers, not the most learned. Those of us that thought deeply, that questioned, that really sought for strength, delved deeper, and became far more foul. But I am concerned that what you see from us is apathy, and what you see from them will be something darker.
When's the last time anyone from here has seen one of them?
I do not really remember a time when the stones had not fallen and we weren't cut off.
Is there anything that you know they'll want?
That's a fascinating question. I think they will seek for domination, maybe? Mastery, a contest of some sort. They will want to try you.
To what end, I guess? Usually, I think people who want to dominate do it for a purpose. They want something from it, right?
I think some want to prove that they're the best. But I'm sure you'll find out.
I feel like we will. Hope they like bug dance-offs, because that's what we're good at here. Sorry, bad joke.
Granted, I have not been to a dance in some time, but I don't think they'll want to dance off. I think they will just try to kill you.
It was a bad niche joke, sorry.
Does us going down there pose a danger to you all up here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let me be clear. The way being open poses a danger to us. I am unsure if specifically you being there will be the problem.
I guess, obviously it's been a while, but do the people or whoever's down there, have they wanted to come back up?
If they do, they have not been able to.
Are there any other questions that you have for this guy right now?
No.
I don't think so.
Cool. So the evening kind of plays on peaceably. All of you are kind of celebrities at the moment, seeing a little dude fly around in an aerial screw is a big deal. So Fred, at the very least, has some people clamoring around him and just wanting to chat. It seems like there's a little bit of more mirth in this place than you have seen before. If there's any, getting a vibe for the town, stuff like that, you can do that now, or we can kind of pass the night. It's up to you guys.
I'm good with passing the night.
Cool. Is there any stuff that people want to do specifically at night? I will say they do find rooms for you in this little inn.
I can't think of anything.
All right. Kicking over to Autumn. Autumn, you are led to Lord Grimm. I keep saying Lord Fallow. Lord Grimm's manor house. Like I said, it's one of the few 2-story buildings here. There are guards posted that seem to be very much in name only. You're led into a rotting shack, basically, that feels like it has the attempt at ornamentation without being able to effectively do it. So it's big and spacious, but there isn't really anything in there, and there's no reason for it to be this large. It entirely feels like, I have to build a big imposing house because that's important for images. But then you're led down stone steps into a very solid stone dungeon. You hear the creak of a metal door, and it clangs shut, and you hear the clink of a lock in metal, in a metal lock, and very much come to the realization this is an actual cell that can hold something. What are you about?
Is anyone else down here with me, or is it one cell?
You know what? That's a good question. Make me a check.
5.
You reach up and touch your face and realize that your raccoon mask is up, and it's not so much that, you can see or hear something. If you, come up to the door and look, you can kind of see, other cells, and there's probably one right across from you. This maybe has, 6 cells, so imagine 3 by 2, you're looking across at the other row that is down here. And you almost think looking across in the other very dark cell, there is only very dim light down here from a couple of those glowing jars. You maybe feel like you can see a form in a cell across from you, but that is only the vaguest impression. But you think you can maybe hear breath, maybe hear a heartbeat, and that is about it.
Hello? Is anyone there?
When you speak and address it out to the room at large, you feel like you see that shape and the shadows kind of shift a little bit. That's a new voice.
Hi, I'm Autumn. What's your name?
Hi, Autumn. How are you?
That didn't answer my question.
Very true. Didn't particularly feel like sharing my name with a prisoner.
I mean, that's fair, but you're also a prisoner.
Oh, well. Everyone says you're guilty of something, don't they?
What are you guilty of?
I think just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Tell me more about that.
What would you like to know? I disagreed. And now, look at me. All cooped up in here for what feels like an eternity. It's a darn shame, it is.
What wrong place and wrong time were you at?
There is a lengthy pause. It is certainly hard to remember that. I once was something different. Saw the sunlight, all that. Things got dangerous up there, and everyone decided to hide. Now, the problem is, some of us got pretty good at surviving. And I was one of those. And when you hear that said, you see like a hand come out of the darkness from this gloom and reach down towards the ground, and you see a like almost suction cuppy finger stick onto a plate that had been left by the cell and drag it under the bars. It's nice that they keep me fed. But wrong place, wrong time. That's what we were saying. Yes. So, some of us, when we decided to hide, didn't necessarily want this to be everything. Maybe we thought, the world's gone a little crazy. The world's gotten a little dangerous. What's so wrong with us getting a little dangerous, you know? I think I rather liked it up above. And I rather like how I changed. So, I didn't see much need to hide, and they did not like that I might want to go other places. And you hear, like, the sound of crunching on lichen. So naturally, they locked me up.
Or are you from below? Like one of the people deeper down?
Oh, I'm not that bad.
I have no idea how bad they are. The people in town seem afraid of a lot of things, so I don't fully trust their account of those below.
The people in town are cowards. And I rather think it would have been better if cowards had died out. This place stopped being nice for cowards. Are you a coward, Autumn?
I can definitely say I am not that.
Well, that's good. This might be a good place for you.
Doesn't seem like it, as she's like looking around the cell and feeling more uncomfortable about being locked in a tighter space than normal.
Well, certainly this isn't a place for you. I hope they let you go before they let me go.
You're saying you wouldn't come back for me?
Oh, I don't think so. But we've only just met. Maybe you could convince me.
I don't know if there's anything else I want to ask this guy. Am I missing something obvious?
No.
Crew?
Mm-mm.
No, I'm talking to my friends, not for you.
Oh, sorry.
I had the same thought about the folks below.
Yeah, I don't know if can I do an insight check on if he was like lying about that?
Are you spending a fate point, or are you just doing like it being insightful?
Just being insightful. I can't spend a fate point for that, I don't think.
Then you can do that roll, yeah.
Yeek. Would perception work for that?
Sure.
That's a 1.
Oh, you don't think anything was lying and you picked up no subtext on that? You know, seemed normal.
Okay.
As you while away the hours, eventually you hear a crackling on your radio.
Which one?
the willow one. Hello? Autumn, hello? What are you there? Over?
I'm here, over.
Well, I guess where's here?
Can we say we're saying over at the end and just have a normal conversation?
Yeah, we don't have to do it the whole time, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make that clear so we're not making jokes about it when one of us doesn't.
Yeah, we don't have to do bits on it.
Well, at the other end of the walkie-talkie, but more specifically, in a jail cell in the earth.
Why?
I don't like it. I vaguely remember I don't like being trapped in places. That was something that was maybe established in this game 2 arcs ago.
Yeah, I don't think I would like it much either, but, like, what's going on in general, I guess?
I think I'm under arrest for corrupting the youths.
I don't think I know what that means.
Typically Hemlock.
What? What?
It's such a deep cut.
It's a good joke.
It's a good joke.
I do not understand that joke.
That's what happened to Socrates.
Socrates
He was accused of corrupting the youth. They gave him hemlock as poison to kill him. Like, that was his death sentence.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
We met some people who seemed to be a step ahead of us on this whole journey, and they did not handle it well, and they reverted into themselves and became afraid of change, and 4 strangers coming to town ruffles some feathers when your number 1 rule is nothing can change in any way ever.
That seems like a dumb rule given the circumstances.
Yeah, it does not seem like a rule that the town council would be opposed to, though, and that's what worries me.
Well, our town council are idiots, so...
Yeah,
surprising no one.
Yeah, I agree. I actively hate Marlin. I don't feel like calling him Doc feels right. Like, I don't know where he got his PhD from. Is his first name Doc, or is that his title?
That is his title.
Okay.
It is a nickname, yeah.
I'm just gonna call him Marlin from now on, because he seems slimy like a fish.
No, I agree with you on the council. I agree with you on Doc Marlin, I guess.
The problem I have is whether or not I think they're idiots. They're idiots who have sway over the town.
I don't feel like they have to.
They don't have to, but it's something we have to deal with.
When you say deal with...
I'm not talking about killing anyone. Specifically not that.
Not necessarily saying killing them, but...
If you want to run for head of town council, I will support you every step of the way, babe.
It's not exactly what I mean. What I mean is, like...
I can be your flirty secretary.
No, like, okay, yes, that does actually sound fun, and look, if we were back in the normal world, absolutely, like, there's a part of me that is sad because I realize that actually sounds like a great deal of kind of fun and a good project for us to do together. But no, what I mean is, like, if we...
Whatever you say, Madam Counselor.
If we don't have allies within the established way of doing things in town... Maybe we ask other people for help.
I'm not opposed to doing that.
Good.
I think there are people who are going to be sympathetic to us.
Right. Like, maybe people that can just take over a town meeting seemingly with no opposition.
Who are you thinking of? Are you talking about Lance and them?
I'm not talking about the people that mysteriously could basically just take over the town without trying. I mean, it's like... At some point, who do we work with? The town council that hid under the table, or the people that made the town council hide under the table?
So, that is a slippery slope, and we should be very careful before we enact that policy.
I'm aware, I just also feel like me sitting here waiting around to do nothing is also a slippery slope that ends in us becoming subterranean... I don't know, whatever people you're dealing with that throw you in jail.
Frog people.
Yeah, that sounds right. Subterranean frog people. So,
Isn't dating me great?
Yes, and I want to keep doing it, is the thing. I don't want to become a subterranean frog person.
Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't tell you all of this because it's horrifying and terrible, and we've had other things. The group of people that came in, they are terrible. They experiment on other humans. They do not care about other life, and we could probably join them if we prove our worth, but even odds they kill some of us. And that's not great, and as much as I hate Marlin and think River is a tool, like, I don't want them dead.
I'm not talking about killing them, but, you know.
I agree. Like, I don't think...
You're in jail. What I'm saying is there's a middle ground between killing them and doing nothing. That isn't just agreeing with them and doing everything by their rules.
I agree. I'm not doing nothing by... Well, I am literally doing nothing but talking to you right now, but I have method to my madness. This is my domain. I don't tell you how to fix the radio. I got this. Mostly. The jail cell is a little small. I don't like it. I don't like being trapped in places. It makes me very uncomfortable.
So what you're telling me is you've got town politics from a jail cell in another village.
No, for that stuff, what we should do is not go to Lance, but you should start working with Aurora, and you should start finding people who are actually loyal to us and see all the good we do, and start having them talk to people instead of just letting Doc Marlin control the conversation.
Yeah, let me tell you what, your sister is scary.
Oh, I know, like, yeah?
It's just the efficiency, you know? It's just the amount to which she is constantly focused and efficient in all things.
Try growing up with that, yeah, like, I get it.
She makes... there's a regiment for every part of her kind of terrifying weird life. But yes, I do think she's helping the town, so I'm glad she's here.
It's scary that her breaks have a schedule to them. Like, not that she schedules breaks, but there is a method within the breaks of how she breaks it up.
Yeah, but...
But here's the thing. You are the best person for propaganda in the entire town.
That's not untrue, I'll give you that.
Like, you can say anything you want all day long for forever, and everyone has to listen to you.
Yeah, I've gotten in trouble for that a few times.
Mitchell's down here, he won't give you any crap for it right now.
That's not a bad point, and I think Matthew generally is on board, so I guess...
And I don't think Matthew's gonna be against pro not kicking his mom out sentiment.
Yeah, well, that's fair, yes. You're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. Just, you know.
It's hard to think of, you know, we haven't had to... Smokey Banks, you're used to making, like, reports and being like, hey, everything's great. Or now everything's failing. But I think you could interview some people again and get some pieces going on how the 5, 6, 7, however many of us you want to count, and how we've helped the town.
It's not a bad idea.
You don't need to, like, necessarily slander the town council and be like, we're better than them, but you can start building sentiment about us in the town.
That's a good idea. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's a good idea.
And, like, and beyond, like, just the, like, oh, look, they run out into the wilds and saved some kids from the Blighthounds, like the easiest, obvious story. Like, look at the smaller stuff that we've done to improve the town, not only during disasters, but outside. Like, me working with Teddy has given us much more resilient homes, both before and after the disaster.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be all, like, these people are adventurers and doing spectacular miracles. Juliet has, like, helped reorganize the college to some degree because Marlin was not doing a good job of that. Like, this is my thoughts on him aside. Juliet is an organizational machine, and she is killing it.
No, I mean, I agree with all that, and I think it's fair to say I could spend some time spinning that. But all I'm saying is, give it some thought. I know that you know him better than us. Just, you know, keep an open mind, all right? Maybe we have allies that we don't realize we have. That's all I'm saying.
I'm working on it. I just don't want to have that be plan A, you know?
I get it.
Worst case scenario, though, I got a cool new walkie-talkie from them that you can dissect when I get home.
I will absolutely be looking forward to that.
And I'll say, like, the conversation kind of trails off, and once you're like done, you guys finish up, you hear a voice from the cell over at you just go, "Who is Willow?" And when you look up, you see a person who stands like maybe 6.5 feet tall with like a wide mouth full of very sharp teeth and like large front-facing eyes that glow a kind of weird, like bluish, greenish glow, with like backwards bent legs and like long muscular arms that end in suction cups. You can see like large protrusions growing off its body that are made of stone, and stone along its arms that looks hard and sharp, just kind of like staring at you with a smile. "Who's Willow?"
I only tell that to people who I know their names of.
"Oh, my name's Franklin."
Nice to meet you, Franklin.
"Who's Willow?"
She's my girlfriend.
"Oh, where are you from?"
Why are you interested in this now? Did you think I was a toad person before?
"Nope.
You seem suspicious, Franklin.
I don't know why you would think that. I just get so hungry."
Exactly that. Also, I have magic powers, and I can tell when people are hostile. You're being hostile, buddy.
"I don't think that's true." And you see, like, with that, like, ridge of arm, he just starts, like, clanging on the bars, staring at you. "I've never tried to knock these down before. Never really had a reason." As that ringing gets louder and louder and louder.
Well, I guess there's a first time for everything?
And that's where we're gonna cut back to, Estelle. Estelle, you are in this sort of, like, grimy little room. It's got, like, one jar dangling from the ceiling, providing a gloomy green light. There is a very sad bed made of, like, dry-rotted boards and old, dead plant life that's been, like, bound together to make a kind of framed hammock. It is tiny, and, like, I will say as soon as you walk in, Guffy crawls up there, lays on it, and just kind of, like, falls asleep. And the door shuts behind you, and Mitchell is behind you. I was gonna...
How did you get in the room?
There's only like 4 rooms in the whole place, I guess.
No, that's fine. I just didn't see you come in.
Oh. I was gonna ask if it's like weird if I stayed with you, but then now it seems like neither of us get a bed, so...
No, I think Guffy definitely took the bed.
Is he like... sturdy enough to... He looks comfy, I guess, is what I mean.
Are you implying he'll break it?
No, I'm implying that I think he might actually be comfortable to sleep on.
Oh, he is.
Alright, I'm gonna put that down as a maybe, and we'll see if he tries to, bite my...
The number of times I've used Guffy as a pillow since we've been going out in the wilds is too many times to count.
Honestly, having a walking mattress almost seems like a good reason to... So I didn't come in here to talk about Guffy. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like trying to not talk about what I know I need to talk about. What do you make of all of this, I guess?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to still wrap my head around the fact that they've potentially, supposedly been underneath the town since they got driven underground.
Forever? Yeah, forever.
Which that's alarming that there was no indication of that. I believe them when they say that they haven't made any progress, I think is the right way to put that, since they've come down here, other than, I guess, changing into whatever they are now. I guess, are you having thoughts?
When I went into the cocoon and came back out, obviously it didn't exactly come out a ray of sunshine, and I get that that can be difficult.
Just a little bit.
To deal with. I think what I can see very clearly is, like, history and its trajectory, right? Which has always been it's what I've obsessed over for a long time, is why Smoky Banks was messed up. And here's kind of the issue. This looks like exactly what I think I could see Smoky Banks being.
Yes. I could see people making the argument to just go underground and stay there.
And I think I might agree to some extent.
What?
Not literally we should do that exact thing. That's not exactly what I mean. What I mean is that this is at some point an adaptation to survive, right? Like, they aren't dying as much as we are at the moment. And as much as I don't like the idea of becoming subterranean frog people, I don't think that's what we should do, but I'm worried that we're gonna have to make some choice about what we become when we're stuck here.
Stuck here? You mean, like, wherever this new place is?
Yes. And I could see it going different ways. Maybe we become frog people, maybe we don't, but I think we're going to become something.
You know, here's a question that I haven't thought to ask until now. When you look at, like, the history of things, are you seeing, like, both the worst parts of it and the good parts?
You see his eyes, like, kind of flicker back to that, like, page covering.
Mm-hmm.
And then that slowly drops out. I think I see all of it, and when you look at it in a big enough picture, anything seems bad.
Well, that's quite a way to look at things.
Right, like, but understand, like, if you list enough bad things out in a row, anything sounds bad, right? You know, it's like people make that joke with, like, water, right? It's like, if you're in an inch of it can kill you, if you drink too much of it, you die, you know, if you don't have it, you die. You know, you can make water seem awful by listing all the bad things about it. So, I guess that's sort of what I mean, but...
Okay, well then let me ask you this. When you look at the histories of all of this, what are the good parts to coming down here, and what are the good parts to staying up above?
The good part about isolation is that we might be... I think what I'm talking about here is isolation, right? We could pile our walls as high as we could pile them, and build all the defenses we want, and regrow our crops to try to match the new ecosystem, and learn about that, and isolate ourselves as hard as we could. And I think the bad part about that is that we could never change, but the alternative is to let what's out there in, right? And I think that will change the town. But, you know, that might mean accepting a degree of, or being forced to accept an amount of danger in our day-to-day life that I think would be strange to us. I think it would also mean accepting that we are going to change whatever place this is. I mean, for a long time, we've separated ourselves from nature as much as possible in the hope of saving it, but I don't know that that's a great option for us anymore. I don't know that there's a version of this. I mean, Mal's already hunting, right? We're already ruining nature again, and maybe that's what happens all over again, is we just ruin nature again, and destroy whatever place this is, and then end up having to turn ourselves back into isolated islands where we hide from the wilds, and then the whole process starts over again. But my point is that I don't know. I think isolation basically means us becoming on a global scale irrelevant, and going out means accepting that we become a part of whatever wilderness is there.
So as Mitchell's been talking, Estelle kind of like she's clearly like thinking and has only listened to probably about like half of what he said after a certain point. And she's thinking back to Smoky Banks and how we were able to adapt to maybe not us, but like the people who lived there before us were able to adapt. Like, we live in this area and we use the hydroponics to like work with the environment and also, you know, keep us alive and functioning. And she's also thinking about like the symbiotes and how those work in a similar but like different to the environment way. You know, it's not, even though we personally haven't done it, it's not like we haven't integrated into where we've been before. Like you said, letting things in might be the way to, you know, function again and not completely lose the town. And that does require change. But isn't that basically what Smoky Banks did when we became an eco-herb in the first place?
I mean, that transition to eco-herbs was not a pleasant one. Again,
I'm not saying it's going to be pleasant or that it's going to be easy, but I feel like that's got to be more worth it than being down here.
I don't think I disagree with you. I don't think I do. And I think maybe this feels like kicking the can down the road, if that makes sense.
Well, because it feels like whatever we're doing here is probably starting to affect them, and I think the can is officially here for them.
I think you might be right. And as he says that, he kind of like sits down on the edge of the bed and like flops against Guffy, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you're actually very right. This is literally the most comfortable thing I've ever leaned on."
I know what I'm talking about. And Estelle looks at two of her three boys that are on the bed, and she pulls out her sleeping bag and starts to like set up her bed area.
Are you being serious right now? Really? I'm gonna sleep with Guffy tonight.
Look, whoever is sleeping where, we need more bedding.
He like gets off the bed and shuffles over and starts helping you unroll the sleeping bag. Well, can I have the sleeping bag even though Guffy was quite nice?
You can join. I'm not saying you can't join me.
Good. Because I mean, like, I would. It feels really terrible to say I would rather sleep with you than a dog, but like Guffy is really comfortable, so you know what I mean.
Well, you know, at this point, good luck moving him off the bed. I think he's claimed it. So
Guffy off the bed.
We're down here.
He like says that as authoritatively as he can.
Guffy just looks at him a little, like he doesn't move his head. His eyes just open, and he just like looks at, like, does the eye thing where he just like looks, and he huffs and closes his eyes again.
Can't decide if that means that's a very well-trained dog or a very badly trained dog.
Estelle pushes his shoulder. How dare you call my dog poorly trained?
I think you I think you did that on purpose. I think you trained slight antagonism into him intentionally.
I think that's just how he came.
Mitchell gets down in the sleeping bag and looks over at you and says, "You know, I think this is a bad thing that is true, but I am actually glad that you came to Smoky Banks before it fell off the world and became part of a weird forest purgatory."
You know, surprisingly, I think I am too.
Anything else anyone wants to do before morning?
I do want, if we named our episode arcs, I do want this arc to be called Weird Forest Purgatory. Am I being broken into?
No, not yet.
I want to know if that guy could break it down. He said he never tried before.
He's still trying.
Can I call Lance? Well, before?
Yeah, you can call Lance. At what point do you want to do that?
Once it becomes apparent that I'm not going to be killed immediately.
Okay, so I'll say that. I mean, like middle of the night. You want to call Lance?
Yeah, if I think he's up, I don't know time.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll call him at night.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
How goes the digging expedition?
Well, we're almost there. We're almost there, Autumn. I guess maybe another couple hours. How are things in town?
Yeah, they're all right. So I found someone who might be from the subterranean people who are underneath the town. If you want to see what we're dealing with before you go down.
Where are you?
The lower level of the manor house.
Are you in a cell by any chance, Autumn?
I don't see how that's relevant.
Do you want me to rescue you?
No, this is more me just giving you information. I wanted to let you know what you're going to be dealing with, and then I can describe what Franklin looks like.
When you describe it, Franklin just goes, "Who you talking to, Autumn?"
He also wants to eat people whenever I talk to them on a walkie-talkie.
Oh, it's not just when you talk to him on a walkie-talkie.
He wants to eat people in general, so just wanted to give you a heads up. Like, I don't think you'd be caught off guard. Well, I thought you might be off guard, but not, incapable. I don't want you to die down there, Lance.
Okay, so here's the issue as I see it, and I'm going to ask you this just as straightforwardly as I can, and I want you to not read into how bluntly I put this. I would not be opposed to seeing this thing in person because I might be able to learn how to kill it better. They're not going to let me in there, so what amount of collateral damage for us to have this meeting are you comfortable with?
That's not great. So here's the thing. We're trying to help them, not kill them, and I feel like you're kind of...
No, you're trying to help them. I am trying to find out what's down here.
So... we've been talking with people, Lance. I don't think there's going to be anything down there. And this is my opinion. I have not talked with my group because, in a cell. But I don't think there's going to be anything down there that helps us. And I'm not saying we give up looking down there. But I think the lesson we have to learn is that change is coming. Whatever your town's name is going to be different. Smoky Banks is going to be different. Like, we can either... you're losing your town one way or another. Either you can lose it by struggling to preserve it and keep it, fossilize your town, and it will never change and be like these frog people, or you can lose it by changing what they are and being a different town, because you adapted.
You hear, like, a rumbling explosion.
Autumn, I gotta level with you. I'm gonna try to put this as simply as I can. If what's down here is dangerous, I'm either going to use it or I'm going to kill it.
I don't think that will save your town.
I understand that, but it could hurt my town, so either it has to be dealt with or it has to be harnessed. It's A or B. There's no leave a horrible monster alone option for me.
I think that's a false dichotomy that you are giving, because for you, dealing with something is killing it.
No. It might be useful. There's a lot of things I've found that are useful.
No. You said harness or deal with it.
Yes.
The only options you have are kill something or use it.
Yes.
You can be better, Lance.
Okay.
Lance?
Yeah.
Well, one, before you get mad at me, when you do break through, can you let, my friends know so they'll let me out of jail? I would really appreciate that.
Okay, I can come and rescue you if you need to be rescued. That is an option.
They said they'd let me go as soon as we're ready to move on. So, as soon as you're through the hole, they'll just let me out. You don't need to do that. Just tell Juliet. But, now I'm gonna piss you off. Lance, the only reason you're here is because someone viewed a different way than your worldview.
I understand that.
We didn't deal with you. She dealt with you. She dealt with you in the way that you deal with you. And then she brought you back, not to harness you, but to save you. And I'm not saying you need to agree with me. I'm just saying maybe there's more than two options to things.
I will say I am open to an option 3, but if what's down here is a cannibalistic monster who wants to eat me, probably it's going to be either I can figure out how to use them or I'm going to kill them. There's probably not an option where I leave violent cannibals alone in that cell. By the way, just for clarity, in case you're unsure about this, you should definitely kill that thing in the cell across from you before you leave. I don't know if I need to say that to you, but you should 100% kill that thing.
I know that's what you're gonna say. Also, if they're violent cannibals, I think, or if they're cannibals, I think we're safe. We're not toad people, so...
When you say that, Franklin just goes, I'm not picky.
He's a cannibal, but also eats other meat. He's an omnivore. I didn't study Latin, I studied English, which uses like some Latin roots, but also not.
I just like to say I'm hungry.
He is weird. And Lance, you know that I know weird. Like, we fought a wolf god. Like, you know that I've seen weird, and I think this might be the weirdest thing.
As you say that, you hear another explosion. Lance goes,
All right, look, I gotta go. Keep in mind what I said, and I'll try to keep in mind what you said.
That's all I ask, Lance.
And the radio clicks off. Is there anything else you want to do?
As she, like, goes back into, like, herself. Stop looking at me.
Okay, and then Franklin just, like, looks off in the distance and starts smashing at the door again. And you kind of, I don't know, get restless sleep as you hear banging all night in the cell across from you.
Yeah, and she's, like, vaguely panicked because she doesn't like being in tight spaces.
So a bad night passes, and I'll say, like...
How did these toad people, who couldn't capture Autumn, like, if they wanted to, get this menace captured?
Well, you don't know that they were like this when they got locked up, right?
That's fair.
They could have, like, evolved into that during their tenure in the cell, right?
Maybe?
I don't know. Vinny, what's your opinion? You probably are right.
As the kind of evening goes on, you know, the light completely dims. There's a brief time where no moonlight comes to that little shaft. All night, there's just clanging on the gate, and all of you, like, sleeping restlessly. As around town, things subtly change. Far out in the fields, you can see, you know, I'm saying this is like a cutscene thing here. Patches of the lichen start to die, particularly near the two entrances where both down that spiral and also down another entrance that Lance made that you guys never went down. Patches of the lichen begin to die. In the building that all of you are sleeping in, like the bed that Guffy's on, one of the legs snaps. In Rourke's shop, one of the pumps kind of like grinds and starts to decay as it starts to struggle to move water. Out where people fish, they start to notice that, like, their morning catch isn't as good. There's less fish being caught. And then the sun rises again, and light trickles in through that little hole far up in the top of this massive cavern and shines light on that fountain that's still kind of, like, now not so well, like, water's kind of gurgling out of it instead of firing off in, like, big geysers. Autumn, you hear a voice on the radio.
We've gotten through, I guess. What do you want me to do now? Do you want to, like, see if a guard will come let you out, or do you want me to come let you out, or how do you want to handle this?
Just tell Juliet and she'll get me out of here.
Okay, I'll send someone out.
So I'll say, like, an hour later, Juliet, you and Maul are woken very unpleasantly as someone is basically, like, the door is kicked in and there's a person, like, standing there with, like, a sci-fi rifle. Hey, I was told to deliver a message to you. We're through.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, we gotta go get Autumn, and then...
Do you want me to go get her?
No. You go back, and we'll see you in an hour.
Okay, I mean, it'd be quick. Okay, fine. This does have a stun, so, you know, anyways. And as
No. You go back, and we'll see you in an hour.
Okay. And you see he, like, turns around and leaves, and, like, you can see a, like, spear-carrying frog person just, like, face down, stunned.
No.
What? He got in the way. What do you want me to do?
Something, use your brain. Something other than that.
He just shakes his head and walks out the door.
Juliet is gonna get up and go over and check on the frog person.
He's alive. He's just very much unconscious.
Okay. She's gonna, like, do her best to, like, make him comfortable so he's not laying on his face.
Maul kind of, like, yawns and walks up next to you and looks down at him and goes, honestly, I mean, like, look, he is armed, so at some point, you know, if you...
It could have been a lot worse, I know, but I was just trying to get Lance's guy to leave before he met anybody else.
I'm just saying, like, there probably wasn't a time in my life when I would have just stunned one of these little guys right in his face, but I probably, there is a time in my life when I might have stolen a lot of stuff from them, so, you know, I'm trying to be better. That's all I'm saying, I'm trying to be better.
We're all turning over new leaves.
We're all turning over new leaves, that's what matters.
Yeah.
So I'll assume all of you, like, you know, get up, rouse each other, and, like, inform Lord Grimm that, you know, you're on your way. So, Autumn, there's, you know, maybe an hour after you heard from Lance, the door down to this dungeon opens, and a lot of these frog people come down. They look at the slowly warping gates that hold Franklin as he's still pounding on the gates. When they come down, he's just like, hey, let me out, please. I'm hungry. And they, like, drop a plate of food on the ground and open your gate.
It is time for you to go.
How did you guys capture Franklin over there?
They, like, grab you and march you up the stairs and close the door behind you. They're still, like, you can hear pounding. And you just hear Franklin go, I'm hungry. Where are you from, Autumn? I'm so hungry. The little frogmen look up at you.
There used to be more of us than there are now.
Did he eat a lot of them?
He killed a lot of them. We mostly saved their bodies from that.
You might want to have Old Man Roke reinforce this door.
We will inquire about it, but that cell has held him for quite some time. Now it is time for you to go.
All right, sounds good. Can I call Lance when I'm, like, out of earshot from the Grimm brothers?
Sure.
Yeah, what's up, Autumn? Yeah.
Can I still have that gun so I can take care of the problem up here?
Are you gonna kill Franklin?
I feel like I should do it myself. I don't think that is something... It is my problem.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about this? I'll leave you one at the entrance to the cave. You can come and get it.
That's all I need. Thank you. Is the rest of my group there?
I'll say, like, you can meet up with them at any point.
Hey, Maul, how good are you at sneaking?
Do you have to ask that? I'm actually... Autumn, I'm offended that you would ask me that.
Well, you're turning over a new leaf. I didn't know if you just were going to be like, oh no, I'm bad.
Doesn't mean I forgot how to sneak. It just means now when I sneak into people's houses, I leave stuff. I just don't take anything anymore.
Good. That's exactly what I need help doing. Can you help me sneak into Franklin's room? Not Franklin's. Henry's room.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Are we kidnapping Henry?
No, we're leaving him a gun for when Franklin gets out.
We're gonna leave Henry a gun.
Yep. It's the best idea I got. Like, here's the options I see. We leave Henry with a gun, so if Franklin breaks out, someone has firepower to take care of him. We do nothing, Franklin gets out and kills basically everyone in the town. Or we go kill a guy in cold blood. I'm not Lance, so we can't do the last option. I don't feel good about option 2 in any way. So that kind of leaves me with option 3.
You know, I really can't argue with you on that. Yeah, we can Do you just want to, like, give it to him in person?
I mean, if you can get him down, like, we can do that, but I don't think they're gonna let me walk into town with a gun again, and I don't want to, like, threaten them. Like, that's not the goal. This is, like, for Henry to defend the town. He seems like one of the few people capable of doing that. Like, Rogue seems decent, but I also think he, like, has enough back problems. What?
Rourke
Seems like he could do it, but he also has back problems, and I don't know if he'd get there in time.
Are you going to leave him a note?
I'm gonna hopefully talk to him about it before we go.
I see.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I can consider it done.
Cool, I can go with you. You'll just need to help me. You're better at this than I am.
Why don't you talk to him now, and then I'll sneak the gun in and meet back up with you guys.
Cool. Is he around? Can I talk to him before we leave? Or
Yeah, I'll say that you can, like, find him sitting someplace dejectedly.
Hey, Henry, how's it going?
And he, like, hands your book back to you. I finished it twice.
Would you like to keep it? I think Mitchell wants his one back, so I can trade you back, I guess, the one that you gave back to me.
I would like to keep it, yes.
Yeah, you can have mine, and I'll take Mitchell's back to him, because he seemed really upset. Well, not upset, just, like, sad. I think it might be one of his favorites. There's, like, this detective who's in love with a nightclub singer, a speakeasy singer, and he really likes it.
Seems like an amazing story, but certainly I can...
You read it! You just read it!
Fair point, sorry. Syntax of that sentence was a mess. Yes, either way, you can leave me whatever books you want, and I will give you back whatever books you wish.
No one else is around, right?
I'll say you can, yeah, you guys can be by yourselves. You don't have to have an audience.
So also, there is a problem that I can't really take care of, and I'm gonna leave you to take care of. Franklin, in the basement, is gonna get free.
Franklin has never gotten free.
He started pounding on the gate, it's bending. He said he's never punched the gate before, and it is going to break. I told your father, he said it's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna last.
I don't think I can fight him.
That's why I'm leaving you a tool for the job as the town defender.
Okay.
We're leaving you, you know those guys who came in with the stun guns and hurt, or the stun thingamabobs that hurt you guys?
Yes.
We have one of their weapons.
Oh, all right. I will take that, certainly.
Yeah, man, this does not feel good. The Zach is saying this doesn't feel good.
I want to be 100% clear. If this is the course of action you decide to take with this, I don't think it's a bad one, but it's going to be a roll of the dice that you don't get to make, which I don't necessarily think is the wrong thing to do.
As I said, like, I don't have a better solution. The options are we let the town be eaten, or we'd go and kill
I mean, you are at some point empowering the town to handle their problem themselves, which I don't think is a bad option, but that certainly does not always go well.
Yeah.
And I am going to make a dice roll about it that will determine if that goes well or badly or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
For the sake of clarity as to what you come back up to when you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say this is a bad idea. It is not one that I thought of.
Yeah.
It is not a bad idea. It just will have a dice roll associated with it.
Narratively, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think Autumn is in a corner. I don't think it's bad in that way. I think it is it is the best idea she has, but it is a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I was dealt 3 terrible options, and this is like the one that's the best. So, Henry, this is a powerful tool. This is something that, like, I know Lance is the other group. The other group and us looks the same. My friends could not make this thing. It is dangerous. It is powerful. And I want you to think, when you use this, what would Detective Tanner do with something like this? You will be given a lot of power. What would Detective Tanner do with this? What would Rosa Riviera do with this? I know you're going to read this book another 4 times. Think about these people. Do you want to be Rosa Riviera, or do you want to be the bad guys?
I don't think I'm going to try to use this to, like, supplant my father or become like a dictator, but I understand the point that you are making. The thing in our dungeon is terrifying, and the best we could do was shove it into a cage, and that barely happened. So, if I suddenly have the ability to take care of that, if it becomes a problem, all the better, I think.
Also, don't tell anyone you have this, because that will create problems exclusively. Like, you think your dad will want to get, like, if he knows you have this, he will want it immediately.
Honestly, I think the only person he might give it to is me, because he certainly doesn't want the responsibility, but I understand what you're saying. It will be our secret.
It's a powerful thing, though. And if you have to use it, be careful for a myriad of reasons, but people are going to see you're strong. That has responsibility that comes with it.
I'm on the same page.
Good luck, Henry. And if we make it back, I can maybe get you back Naptown Chronicles to read again.
Thank you.
As Autumn's walking away, thank goodness he didn't have Outlaws Wanted with him.
I do like that canonically all of our games become books in the next game that we're running.
Right? I love that so much.
Asking him, do you want to do what Tanner does? It's like, that's maybe not great advice.
I think it is. I think Tanner is a good person who has to do morally gray things. Like, Tanner fought for innocence and for people and did not abuse power when he was made into a god.
I think all of us were morally vague in that game.
I think Tanner helped people, and that is what I'm trying to impart.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to do?
Oh, is Fred still afraid of the sunlight or no?
Oh, I think I said that only lasted a day. So no, I think at that point you've kind of like shaken that. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
So yeah, all of you start walking your way out of town. As you do, there's a little bit of clamor around the fountain as you're walking past that, and away from the town center, you can see that like one of the arms of the fountain has fallen off. And you can also see that like the area of light around it is a little bit wider, as like a rock from the roof of this cavern fell in and landed somewhat near the fountain. As you walk across the luminous lichen fields that have spread across this area, like I said, you can see now patches of them are withering. Not a lot, but a little more than were there before. You know, if you've ever like sprayed for weeds, you can kind of like see them start to wilt a little bit as you're walking through and over towards that spiraling, eaten through the stone tunnel that you originally used to walk down here. When you get there, there is obvious debris of blown up rock that has like, they've had to blast their way through a lot of fallen in stone and move it. And there is a backpack with one of those, like, you know, sci-fi laser rifles, for lack of a better name for it, left on the ground. Maul sees that, picks it up, and goes, I'll be back, and starts heading off back towards town. And all of you start making your way further down into the tunnel. Thanks for listening to this episode of Wanderlust. Music for this show is credited down below. If you like this campaign, you can find more of our shows at the Wandering Gamer website or on Podbean. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links in the description. Now bear in mind, In the wilds, some wander to get lost, and some wander to find themselves.